Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, Gigi. It's Sean.
Hi. Wait, where's Sean?
Hold on. My video is on.
Lord Rich Ral.
Yes, that's me.
Let me turn. I've got a weird mic here. Is the sound okay for you guys?
Sounds great.
Oh,
Perfect.
cool. I look at the Scorpions. So I recognize you, a couple of you guys from Twitch. I know Matthew's from Twitch, and
Right.
do I say Junie? Oh, he's got it. You got your mute button on, I think. Is it Junie?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Yeah. And you're from
Hi.
Estonia?
Yeah.
Wow.
You see that somewhere?
Yes, because I need to send you a com, and you sent me your address, and I was like, wait,
Oh,
what?
right. Yeah.
What time is it there?
It's 8 p.m.
Oh, okay. Not too crazy.
It's
Yeah. As opposed to last night at 3 a.m.
That's the tricky thing is that, like, it's so hard, babe, with trying to organize time frames and stuff. Like,
It's been
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm used to it.
Can you hear me
we're always gonna frail someone off.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been up to?
Pretty lazy day, actually. I've just done nothing but play video games.
Nice. Oh yeah, so Sean, where you are, it's already into the day. Hi, Alan.
Yes, it's 6 o'clock in the evening here.
There we go.
Cam's up and running. Hi.
Sorry, I had to plug it in.
I know we're all a bit like that. How does it work?
See here, my toothless mug.
I'm trying to see it. Hey, I have to say, first of all, a huge
I can't
thank you
actually
to
get this
Sean.
mug anymore.
I just want to say a big thank you to Sean for hooking me up with you guys, because it was actually Sean that told me about the convention, and Sean I know through the Patreon page. So thank you so much, Lord Rich Ral.
Happy to help, Gigi. Happy to help.
Thank you. And Laurie's checking in too. Hi, Laurie.
That's unacceptable.
I can hear some Farscape in the back there somewhere. So how do you want to do a little talk first, babe, or would you guys prefer to chit chat? What would you like?
That's up to you, Gigi. What would you like to do first?
All right, cool. Well, I'll fill you guys in a bit on what's been happening in my world. Some of you may already know, because I recognize you from our other tribes, our other cyber tribes. We've got all these different cyber tribes going on. It's been a weird and wonderful time, and I've just tried to do everything in my power to channel all the funny energies in my heart and soul that we've all been having into something positive, and trying to put out good energies there, and just remind myself and everyone else that we're all in this together, and let's make the best of it, and got to find some light in all the energy going around. So I've been so blessed and super grateful that we've all found each other on the interwebs, and to put something like this together is just brilliant. I think you guys are amazing, and I hope it's a huge success, and I hope there's many more. So you guys know I'm on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I've got a channel there with lots of fun, silly videos if you haven't checked it out. And I made it a few years ago. For the last 20 years, I've been doing the Comic Cons, And I realize I'm in the green room with all these cool people that I too am a fan of, you know. And I thought, oh, if I could sit down with, you know, Shatner or with, you know, Sean Gunn or with, you know, the random or with the Incredible Hulk and ask them 3 silly questions or ask them, you know, or cool cosplayers or so on my YouTube channel, I have funny little interviews and chats with, you know, the voice of Roger Rabbit to cool cosplayers to whatever, because I was like, I'm just as much of a supporter of this amazing Comic Con world. And to me, the people, when I see actors or hosts that are just down to earth and who they are, and they are a bit silly and they do muck up, and they're the ones I find kind of interesting, because it's like, you know, the voice of us asking all the silly questions. And so with the Jim Henson show, when they asked me to be a host, that was kind of I said, oh, I would love to. Can I be myself? Because, you know, I don't really know how to host officially. They're like, yeah. Pardon me, it's still waking up. And then they said, and then on the first take of the first, you know, intro section, I was sort of casually, you know, bouncing around and doing this. And then went, well, that's great, but maybe just be a little bit more like a host. I was like, what is that? So all of this. Hi, welcome, newcomers.
Hi, Gigi.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I guess we're all incoming. Where is everyone tuning in from?
I'm on Long Island.
Long Island, with a very sexy accent.
Thank you.
We've got Estonia. I know that.
Australia.
Long Island. Who's Australia?
That'll be me.
Are you
Currently
Australian?
3 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, hello!
Hi. Oh my God, you didn't tell me that. Whereabouts?
Brisbane.
Bris
Gold
Vegas.
Coast.
So I went to, I don't know the school, QUT, Queensland University of Technology.
Yeah.
That's where I went. I studied acting there for 3 years. And it was really tricky because originally we had literally hundreds and hundreds of kids that auditioned, and there was only 12 spots. So when I graduated school, my parents didn't know what to do with me because I was a complete rat bag. And
Yeah, that's not hard to believe.
hey, Kat, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, maybe audition for some acting stuff, because I loved dressing up and playing make-believe. I've got to explain where it comes from, though. I think, like, growing up in school, I didn't really fit in anywhere. And when I was playing a character or doing my drama, you know, my play or a scene, I felt brave and I felt like I could communicate through characters and stuff. So it brought me out of my shell. So when I graduated school, there were different. There's like the day captain, the whole head of year 12. Then there's the sports captain, and there was the drama captain. And I got the drama captain. Drama, you should have just said drama queen. So I kind of fell into that direction.
That's awesome.
Right, I didn't know where else to put myself. So we traveled around lots growing up. You know, I was born in Western Australia, which we all know is the most isolated town in the world, right, Cam? Isn't that what it's meant to be, Western Australia?
As someone who used to live in the middle of nowhere in Western Australia, I can say, yeah, pretty much.
Right? So I went from there.
I was born on the Gold Coast, and we moved to Western Australia because my uncle was living there and I had jobs for my dad. So we just up and left everything.
Where were you born in the Gold Coast? Because my brother was born on the Gold Coast.
Southport Hospital.
Okay. He was, oh my God, my brain's, it's too early in the morning. My brain's still booting up like, where was he? I know, is it Ashmore? Is there one at Ashmore? No. What are the other hospitals on the Gold Coast?
Well, I actually don't know. There's like the Gold Coast Hospital. There's one down like Burley Head?
Not
like,
Burley, not Burley. It was more inland. Chevron? No.
like Ashmore is more up towards Brisbane.
Ashmore. No, aren't you thinking Ash Grove? Anyway, whatever. Oh, sorry, little brother Jake. I've just managed to forget where you were born, but I know I'll wake up in the middle of the night tonight and be like, ah!
That
And
actually
Jordan will be like,
happened
what
to
is
me once.
Huh?
I was signing up for a credit card at a store. I couldn't for the life of me remember my social. 10 minutes after I leave the store, I remember it.
It happens, like, and when you try and think of it so hard, it's like, no, it's not going to happen. So anyway, so I went to traveled around lots as a kid. We went to Sydney next because Dad was an entrepreneur and he would travel around with the Moscow Circus. He literally traveled all through Russia and he put together acts and made the Moscow Circus, and he would travel that around the world. He also bought Cirque du Soleil Australia. He bought rock bands like Kiss and amazing big names like that. He bought Baryshnikov, Nureyev, the Bolshoi Ballet. And it's funny because my partner was actually filming a dance company not that long ago. And he said to all the kids, and these are like high level, dance students, my girlfriend, my girlfriend's dad brought out Baryshnikov and Nureyev, and they went, "Who's that?" And I was like, "No, you don't know who the famous Russian ballerinas are, no, or ballet dancers. This is terrible." It just is a sign of the age. I feel like I feel like my grandma and grandpa now going, "Those kids today, they don't know what culture is." So anyway,
sounds like my grandma.
Right? I know. Now I'm getting like, seriously, I think I almost did say kids today the other day in a conversation. I'm like, oh, I'm coming to that age. But so we traveled around a lot. And then my favorite place in Australia is Sydney because I love water, love the beach, love the harbour. If you haven't been, you have to check it out. It's very, very magical. And you can literally go everywhere. The public transport system, it's like the UK, is so good. You can catch a bus, a train, a ferry, anywhere around Sydney. So it's very affordable. It's actually a lot more affordable than driving because now I'm pretty sure they've got toll roads everywhere you go. Not that anyone's driving anywhere much at the moment, but but Gold Coast, I moved there when I was in year 3. I went to Somerset College, which was a little co-ed school for a year because we waited to get into St Hilda's. My elder sister got straight in, and myself and my other sister, we had to go on a wait line, and it was a private girls' school, and it was very, very hoity-toity, and we became friends with, other people other parents of the school. And she said, one of the ladies, her name was Portia Hickey, and she said, getting little girls into St Hilda's, it's easier to get little girls into heaven. Because there was like a line around the corner, apparently. I don't know what all the fuss was about because I thought it was it was a good school, but I think hopefully if we, maybe homeschool Sky, I guess, at this stage. But I think I don't mind co-ed schools compared to private girls' schools because girls can be mean, very mean. So anyway, so I went to Somerset College in year 3, and then from then on up until year 3, around that year. And then from 4 onwards till I graduated, I went to Gold Coast, St Hilda's. You know where that is, Cam, in Southport, right next to your hospital. You haven't heard of St Hilda's?
The hospital's actually not there anymore. They demolished it 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, maybe he was born in the Southport Hospital. No. Oh. And then I went to QUT for the 3 years of acting school. But the thing about the acting school is that it was so intense. I think only 7 of us graduated, maybe only 6, because you not only had to do all the practical stuff like the plays. We did yoga, we did dance and movement, we did sword fighting. The Boston Shakespearean Company came in. and they taught us Romeo and Juliet and how to deliver Shakespeare with the right, with the right rhythm and everything. But we also had to do theoretical stuff. And if you know about many actors that I know, they couldn't give a crap about a lot of the studying side of it. I mean, they like to act and study that side of it, but the history and the psychology and all that fun stuff, all of our classes like, huh? But I like studying and I like all that business. So I managed to get my way through it. And then that's when, in my second year, we had a casting lady that came to speak to us. Her name was Susie Maisels, and she said, "Oh, you and you come in for a little role in a miniseries on the television." And we're like, "Okay." So we went in there, a group of us, and it was good because I didn't realize how big it was. And if I did, I would have. Oh, that's my dog MacGyver. I would have freaked out. Wait, let me just see. I might need to go out to the toilet. Hang on. Where is he? MacGyver?
Love the name.
Yeah.
I'll see if you can see him.
Yes.
You can see his nose. Good boy. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, say hello. Hi, say MacGyver. Yes. He's like, why are we going for a WALK? I can't say it, otherwise I'll get in trouble. Hang on, let me just let him out, and I'll come right back. Otherwise, we might have an accident.
We don't want that.
Elsa, come here. Elsa, come here. Come on. Up.
Probably the closest I have to.
Oh.
My own dog said hello.
Outside at the moment, I believe.
So how is everybody?
Sleepy.
I'm good.
Yeah, good.
I really want to go to sleep, but I'm awake.
Wait, so Caroline, are you Dracus or you Raven?
I'm Raven.
Raven, there you go.
Raven Slayer.
You're because these are, babe.
And I got my dog.
What's your dog's name?
Elsa.
Elsa. We got Elsa and MacGyver. Wait,
to be fair, the kids at work help me name her. And I've got 2 cats. They're blue Russians, and they're siblings. One's name is Bolt, and the other one is Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my god.
Nice.
That's the best. Because the other thing is all the kids, like, because we do the Comic Cons almost like every weekend when the world was open, and every single kid at the Comic Con's like Thor, Ariel. I'm like, all the next generation of kids are just going to be make-believe names. Yeah. we're turning into cartoons.
Like at the last one I went to, I got to meet like a bunch of the stars because I decided to go for the VIP package. Why not? If you have the money.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So getting to actually talk to a bunch of the people was like really fun.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it when, because we get to bump into a lot of people, and quite often they put us on the same flight. So it's when you're in Comic Con mode, you're on the lookout kind of thing. But at the airport, you're still kind of in your normal mode. And then every now and then you're like, oh, there's the Hobbit. Oh, there's the Incredible Hulk. Oh, and there was we did a really cool convention at it was the Salt Lake City Comic Con. And it was quite a few years ago. I've only done it once, and I want to do it again because that one's a massive one, and really cool people, and it's lots of fun. And Napoleon Dynamite was at that one. I don't even know his real name. That's how much of a geek I am, and I love that show. What is it, Pedro and Napoleon? So all weekend I was like, I've got to go over and say hello. I've got to get a photo because my brother and I watched that show. Vote for Pedro, And I didn't because we were too busy, which was great. And then I got on the plane. I was like, oh, bummer, I never got to meet him. And then, because you know he's got that really distinct voice, he's got that really like, what's the lines he always says? Oh, why is my brain still? I need another coffee. That's what's happening. I can't complain because Australia's like 3 a.m. right now. So sorry, guys.
3
No,
a.m. for me.
It's
And
for me.
next
It's like
time,
1:20 in the morning.
the
Oh,
next
you're
time though,
fine.
it's 2 a.m. And then the
Woo!
next one is like 1:30 a.m. and then 1 a.m.
Yep.
Are you going to go through the whole thing, Cam?
What?
Hell yeah, let's do
The-
this.
The time zones.
Yes.
I've been across Nullarbor before. I had to yeah, as I said, we moved from Queensland to WA and we drove all the way.
How long is that? How long was that drive?
It's like it depends. 4 days to a week. It depends on whether
See,
you
that
make
wouldn't bother me. That'd be
frequent
great.
stops. Yeah,
And all
We
the
stopped off
Americans
at Iron Knob.
understand us.
like there are weird named towns in the middle of Australia. Like one of them's a mining town, Broken Hill. It's literally called Broken Hill because when they mined, they broke the hill in half.
Oh, really? That's I didn't know that.
That's it refers to that. There's also one called Iron Knob, which is an iron mining.
Not going to say anything there.
But
Trust
dear.
us Aussies
Oh,
to
dear.
come up with weird names.
probably the only thing I'm going to show off is this.
Oh, what is that? I can't see it. What is it?
It's my VIP pass to Supernova.
Oh,
I got
Supernova.
signed by
Is
Billy
that the
Zane.
Phantom?
Yes, I got
Oh,
it signed by
wicked.
Billy Zane.
How much
because
did
I
that
was
cost you?
The package was about $1,000.
Holy magoli, what did you get?
Wow.
You get the pass, which is this.
And you get like
I
Yeah.
got a
VIP
lanyard, but I have
free.
my own. And then like $240 worth of photos and autographs.
Well, that's okay. Did you get to like do
And
a
then
meet and
the
greet?
VIP party. And
Oh, how was
Actually-
that?
I only spent like about an hour and a half at the actual party because I was feeling sick that day and left early.
Oh no.
Oh, are you okay now? Afterwards?
Yes.
That's good. Who was there at the after party? Who was there?
The pass from Oz
Who's
Comic Con.
that?
Oz coming because that was used to be run by Rand and Carissa, and now Reed Popper bought them out, right?
Reed Pop sold it last year after Brisbane, so
Who to?
it's now run by an Australian company. So now it's technically not an official Comic Con because Reed Pop runs all the others.
So who owns it now?
I
That's
actually can't remember. I'll literally have to go look it up.
That's weird because they only recently bought it. I thought only a couple of years ago.
I don't know why they just.
They don't do Oz Comic Con anymore in Perth. It's just Supernova, anime festivals, and there's another one I can't remember. But those are the only two that I remember. in Perth
Probably
that I
Armageddon.
know of. Yeah, that one.
Which
I'm only
is-
new into anime.
Hey, Matthew, is that how I pronounce it?
That's right. It's Matt.
Matt,
Yeah.
where are you from?
Nice background.
South Carolina.
Is that what that beach is?
It is. It's Myrtle Beach, actually. Yeah. My daughter lives there. Yeah.
Have we met before? We've met before in person.
Yes, we
haven't
have at Dragon Con. Yes, a couple of times.
This year?
No, I didn't get to go this past year. It's actually Dragon Con got kind of crazy. It was a hot mess, and it was just too many people, and I just kind of quit going. But we're thinking about going this year, but I didn't see your name on the list.
Do you think that they're going to have, like, because Comic-Con just got pulled? I was like, oh, San Diego just got pulled because of, I don't know.
I don't know. It's possible. I mean, who knows right now? I mean,
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, because recently, I mean, Trump just said that hopefully what month are we in? February, March, April, May, 1st of May, they said they were hinting.
Too soon.
Too soon? What do you think?
Only America would open up that soon. No other country is.
Yeah.
So, nah.
Because you guys, is the UK ahead of everyone or behind? Because I know it's like China and then
we're in the UK.
Italy and then us.
I think we're ahead. We're ahead of the US, but we're behind places like France, Germany, that lot.
Got you. And then Australia's behind us, I think, like about a week, maybe a week, 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys know.
They said on the news, gonna review it in 4 weeks. That's what I heard on the news.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well,
you guys know, I know a lot of you guys are from Twitch, but so Twitch, I'm just making my way through the whole of Farscape. Because I was like, well, if we're all here doing nothing or close to nothing, then we may as well all hang out and stuff. And I need to re-watch it because it's a good excuse for me, because I was trying to do it later at night with the baby and Jetta, and we kept falling asleep because we were so tired by that stage. So we'd watch one episode like 10 times.
Oh.
5 o'clock every day, LA time. But I don't know. It's okay for Australia. It's late for UK. I know it's like midnight, I think.
I've only been able to join a couple of times this week.
Is it midnight where you are then, Sean? If it's like at 5 o'clock?
Midnight, 1 o'clock. So sometimes if I'm still awake, then I'll jump on and watch with you. But sometimes I'm like, gone.
It's so hard to pick a time that works for everyone, because so the reason why I wanted to do, so obviously with the Bubba, I can't be like, this is a big day for me today. I'm 2 hours here with you guys, and then I wasn't going to do tonight, and then I was like, you know what? I mean, we're on a roll.
Somebody wanted to join me.
Tonight, who's it? What's its
This
name?
is Jessie. Yes.
Jessie?
Jessie. Yes, she's my sweet.
Is it a girl or a boy?
Yeah, it's a girl. Yeah, female.
Oh, she's
so cute.
Hi, Jessie.
She was a birthday present a few years ago. Yeah.
She's so, who else is animals? You guys all got animals as well?
Elsa.
We've got Elsa, we've got Jessie, I've got MacGyver, and I've also got 2 cats, 2 kittens that are just naughty. One's called Digit McFly and the other one's called Zip McQueen. And Zip's really nice. Zip's really cool. She's like a grey. She looks very Chiana-esque. And Digit's just an asshole. I don't know how else to put it. I've never had a mean cat, but she's a real mean cat. And I'm great with cats. And she's like one of those cats that's like, she'll, when she jumps on your chest, it's like this in your face. You're like, I don't know whether this is going to end up good or not. And then you'll pat her and she'll be like, purr, purr. And then she just attacks. Like every time. I'm like, you're scaring me. I love her.
Cat.
Oh man, she's
got attitude.
3 dogs.
And who's got 3 dogs?
Me.
Oh,
who's my
what
a purebred Shiba she's just funny. I have a Hound Lab mix, Jack. He is scared of everything, and he's just and we think that his tongue is too big for his mouth because he'll just lay there with his tongue sticking out. It's so funny. And then we have Jackson, our Whippet Black Lab. She is such a loudmouth. She'll go yip, 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 at everything.
Really? I'm lucky with MacGyver. He's always been a bit like, and I think he's super smart, and Jed's always like, he's such a dumb dog. Like every day when my car's been broken down ever since Sky was born. So then we sold it to the gardener for like $1,000. That he's like, do you want? I see that your car hasn't been driven in like half a year. Can I buy it? I'm like, go for it. Good luck with it. It doesn't work. And so I'm like, see your car. So I thought, it's gonna suck not having a car, and maybe for Jed it does, because I'm like, hey, can I get a lift here? Can I get a lift there? Can I get a lift there? Not at the moment, but when we're up and running. And but when I did have a car, I would take him to the dog park every single day, and I would have to lift him up into the car. And you just saw him, he's a big dog.
Yeah.
It's like, he's so dumb.
Yeah.
You have to lift him up into the bloody car. I was like, what do you mean he's dumb? He's trained me to lift him up. Why would he? He's so bloody smart. He's like, oh, that is so not true. He just can't do it. And he can totally do it. He's just like, I'm ready to be lifted, mother. He knows exactly what's going on. Trust me.
He's got you wrapped around his little finger, and you're letting him.
Yeah, because he came from Australia. So he came from Australia with me. He was like, he's about 10 years old now, and he was not my dog initially. It was my ex-partner's dog, and then when we broke up, he just left, and I was like, what about MacGyver? He goes, he likes you more. I'm like, well, there's no argument there. See ya. So MacGyver stay with me, and he's the bomb. So I flew MacGyver and my cat. My cat was 21 years old at the time, Louis. He had one tooth.
Wow.
And he used to meow like, meow. And I didn't realize that wasn't how cats meowed. Like, people would come over and be like, what is that cat doing? And I'm like, he's meowing, he's hungry. And he's like, people are like, that is not a normal sound of what a cat makes. I'm like, it is, it's a meow. And they're like, and every single night for the last, probably like 8 years of his life, he would wake me up every single night, like 3 times. He'd stand on my face and meow, and with his cat breath and his one tooth. And every single night I would get up and feed him like 3 times through the night, because I thought, if tonight's his last night, I would kill myself if I didn't get up. And he milked that for 8 years. And I would literally get up and just stir the food that was in his bowl, because he'd never eat the whole thing. He'd just like lick it and then walk off, and then expect a whole new batch every time, So I'd stir it up, like pretend, like even get the can out and pretend that I was putting in new stuff. And he just looks at me like, I know what you're doing. So I have to every time empty it out, put a fresh spoonful in, tap it on the thing. I was like, dude, you're killing me. Poor Louis the cat.
About cats, they only meow at humans.
Oh man, he knew. I'm telling you, that was. And then when we had to take him to the vet, that was it. It was I don't think I've ever cried. And there's people going to the vets to pick up new animals and kittens and stuff, and I'm like, like they're like, not to be rude, man, but can you please leave?
Exactly what you're talking about. Last year, Chase had a massive seizure, and we were seriously considering putting him to sleep.
Ugh.
He's recovered for the most part, but he can't walk on like hardwood floors anymore.
Oh. So
But
what do you think happened? What do you think happened?
All I know is it's a neurological issue.
And you know that the vets, I mean, I'm sure vets are nice, but also you're just smitten. Anything that they say, you're like, okay, just make my animal better.
Yeah.
Do it.
The family.
Right? More than like, I'm like, if that cat could talk, I'd be in some serious trouble.
If Chase could talk, I'd be like, feed me, pet me.
There's actually a really
My old cat Leo, I got him when he was 3 weeks old, because Mum found him on gum trees, and they were going to get rid of him anyway. And I'm like, you're supposed to let the kitten stay with the mother for like 7 weeks or more. So Mum took him anyway, and my dog Elsa came to milk, and I came home from work one day, and she was breastfeeding my cat Leo. So Elsa was Leo's mum, essentially. and
Oh,
he was a right little shit, Leo, because he escaped outside before he had his injection, so I had to hurry up and get that done. And I was visiting, Mum and I were visiting my granddad in Mora because he was in a nursing home. And we were halfway up and we heard a meow in the boot. And I'm like, am I hallucinating?
oh no.
You know? And Mum pulled over and sure enough, Leo pops out of the boot going, oh, hello, I want to come for a drive too. I'm like, you put the harness on, clip Leo next to Elsa in the back seat. I'm like, let's go, Mum, let's keep going to Mora. Got there, and of course, all the elderly people were like, "Oh my god, a dog and a cat!" I'm lucky I got them both back in the end. So I had to take turns and walking them both down the street, and of course, there's only two main streets in Mora. So when I was walking Leo, this truck, four-wheel drive, well, a bloody car, I don't know cars. Went even slower than the normal speed limit. He rolls down the window and goes, "Is that a cat you're walking?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You city folk are really weird. Walking your bloody cat.
That is, in their defense,
You
it
wanna
is a
hold
very
it?
unusual sight.
But no, Leo, sadly, he's not with us anymore. He passed away last year in Feb.
Oh,
Sorry.
That's okay. I got his ashes with me, and I've got a necklace with his ashes with me, and I wear it everywhere. But he was one of a kind. He was like a dog in a cat's body. So
they when we went to
I love animals.
they're the best, aren't they? We all grew up with animals, so I wanted Sky to have, even though LA is a weird place, I wanted to try and find a bit of nature for her. And because we all grew up on the beach, we grew up on the farm. My dad had a beach house and my mum lived on 250 acres. So we had goats and horses and peacocks and sheep and whatever animal popped up, snakes and chooks and the whole shebang. So we bought, when Louis passed away, we moved into, eventually when I was preggers and stuff after the Wonderland tour, I said to Jeb, we're going to need more space and everything. So we found a house, and then now we had more space, we needed more animals, of course. So that's when we went out to get one kitten, and then our heart fell in love with two different ones. So we actually saw Digit first. Her name originally was Tigger. And Jed said to me, I don't want a cat. You have to sign a cat contract. And I was like, what is this? You love Louis. He goes, I know, but it's more work. And I know that this cat is going to impede our social life. And I know you're going to use the cat as an excuse to not go out because the cat will get lonely. I'm like, I won't. Because when I'm not in Comic-Con mode, all I want to do is chill at home with the cats and the dog and just chill, right? Because work life is so non-stop that it's nice just to be in your little bubble. So I had to sign a cat contract, and he's so ridiculous. He says, the cats, Gigi's cats, I'm responsible for the financial burden of the cats. Jed can buy the cat a treat at when and if the opportunity arises. The cat shall not impede on the social activities or co-curricular activities of the household. On and on it goes. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, yeah, whatever. So I signed this stupid bloody cat thing. And of course, both of the cats, they're his cats. Anyway, you know, and I like the cat. Oh yeah. And then the nail in the coffin was Jed gets to choose the cats. I was like, I thought they were my cats. So anyway, one cat, because we originally.
So you don't choose the cat; the cat chooses you. Right.
So we went in to see the first place.
I don't know much about cats, but I do know that.
You're very right. You're very right. So we went into the first shelter, and I wanted like a Russian blue because my last cat was a tuxedo cat, big furry, like a lion cat, and that's the ones I dig, like the big fluffy ones. And he was like, absolutely not. So he was looking at these two short-haired things. So Tiga was the first one, and he fell in love with her. And I'm like, you know what? I'm lucky to get a cat at all. Let's just go with this cat. And she was pretty cool, but she had to get desexed and chipped and all that stuff because she was a bubba. So we had to leave her there over the weekend, and it was Father's Day weekend. And I was like, oh, it's not very fun that it's Father's Day. And yes, we got the cat, but we can't physically have the cat. And then it was the first shelter we went to, and I was like, look, do you want to just, because we've got all day anyway, we plan to do it all day, let's go have a look at another couple of places because, well, why not? So sure enough, 2 other shelters in, we bumped into, her name was, what was it? Lady Lilith McQueen was her original name. That was the white one. And we ended up naming her Zip McQueen, and she's like white, and she had like a splash of yellow, and she had like this and that, and she was just so gentle and so cool, and she was just a lover and like shoving right up into our faces and stuff, and we're like, oh, but we've already put the deposit on the other cat, so we can't, why were we even still looking? And the lady goes, look, call me crazy, but it's actually better to have 2 kittens than 1. Don't you love it? Because they entertain each other. And we're like, oh, that makes sense. Sure. Yeah, why not? They both need homes. They are nuts together. They just fly through the room. Then you see something fall over somewhere. Then you see a cat up the wall. But it's so good because they bring so much joy and laughter, and they're really good with Sky. Like Sky loves them. So they've brought a lot of happiness. And the dog is just like, what the hell is this?
I'm too old for this. Go away.
Yeah, like I know he likes it because he always loves. Louis and him had a really like love-hate relationship, but they still loved each other because they were creatures together when dealing with us stupid humans, and Louis the cat, my old cat, would trap him in doorways, like in rooms, and then he'd stand in the doorway, so you'd hear MacGyver barking, and he'd be like barking, so I'd be like, MacGyver, shut up, and giving him a hard time, and then I walk around, you realize Louis the cat had trapped him in there. I'm like, oh, Louis, you're so naughty. And even when MacGyver was sleeping, Louis would walk past, like MacGyver would be complete and go and slap him on the face and then keep walking. And MacGyver was like, they're evil, those cats. They know.
Has MacGyver learned? Has MacGyver learned not to wag his tail?
Yeah, MacGyver, and all MacGyver wanted to be, because we had Louis first, obviously, and then MacGyver came on board. And Louis was almost like on death's door. This is in Australia, but because we bought the dog, the cat was like, okay. I'm not gonna die now because I have to deal with this dog. So he almost had like a rebirth experience, and then when we were playing fetch with the dog, Louis would appear from nowhere out of a tree and like jump on top of MacGyver to get to the ball. We're like, what the hell is going on? The cat has like turned into a kitten again. It was very cute. And then they both came to America, and Louis was pretty good after the flight. MacGyver was not. He was like eyeballs, like it was horrible. And when we picked him up from the airport, both of them, it was that's really why I'm still in America, is because the animals are unknowingly trapping me here, because there's no quarantine coming in, but to take them back there's actually quarantine, and I couldn't not be with them. Yeah, I think now they've shortened it to 3 weeks, I think, so it's not as long as what it was, but still, is it 3 weeks quarantine?
I think it's only about 2 weeks.
That's pretty good. But I even caught up the quarantine.
Australia is one of the only countries in the world that doesn't have rabies.
Yes, that's the big thing. So I called up the quarantine places in Australia. I said, can I visit the animals in quarantine? They're like, they're in quarantine. that means you cannot obviously visit your animals if they're in quarantine. They need to be in quarantine. But I want to play with them. So we're all here in the States pretty much because of MacGyver, and now we've got 2 new cats, so there's no way I can come back at this stage until I have to live out their life here.
So here's another fact about rabies.
Well, it would be great to... Yes.
Sorry, if you're watching shows and they refer to the
Yeah, no.
swimming
You go.
sickness. They're referring to rabies because it kind of makes you thirsty, but it also makes you kind of forget how to swim. So a lot of the deaths end up with people drowning.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
What do they refer to? What do they refer?
It's the drowning. I think it's drowning sickness or water sickness. It
Really?
refers to It's mostly period stuff that you would hear the term used in, but it's just they refer to rabies.
So where are you guys all coming? Hey, Deep, I know you. We've met at Comic Cons before, haven't we? Deep Wells.
I don't think so.
Oh, really? Your face looks familiar.
I just have one of those faces, maybe?
Oh, where
I
are
don't
you
know.
chiming in from?
I'm from Wisconsin. I'm from the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I haven't been to Wisconsin yet.
There's cheese and there's beer and there's
Oh.
cows.
Ah, you got me.
Right? Deep fried cheese curds are where it's at.
Oh my god.
You're welcome. Also, the cheese should squeak, which seems to freak people out. Dude, if your cheese curds do not squeak, do not eat them. I know it sounds upsetting. It's actually quite delicious.
Do you feel sick after you eat these cheese sticks?
No.
Fried cheese sticks?
Of course not. Then again, I grew up on this. I don't count.
I'm like dribbling just thinking about it.
Oh man, they're delicious.
In a good way,
right? Like they're not good for you, but they're tasty.
That's quite often the way.
That's about it. So there's not a lot here.
Is Wisconsin near Fargo?
Kind of. It's in, like Fargo's in Minnesota, which is to the
north
west.
So how long?
Like I'm facing south.
Wisconsin?
It makes it weird. What now?
How long's the flight from Wisconsin to Fargo or Minnesota?
Well, I mean, from where I am to, probably if I just went straight west to the Minnesota border, we're probably talking 2-3 hours just drive.
Okay.
So it's not. It's not far. It's not far. I know some people think that's far.
Because I meant to do. Well, who knows what's going to happen world-wise? But and I don't know how to bring up. I don't know how to share my screen because you can share your screen on Zoom, right?
Yeah. If you at the bottom of the window, is something like the share screen. Just click
Can you share it? Sorry.
There if you hover your mouse over the very bottom, so it should be there should be a little green square with an arrow.
I see. Okay, cool. So if I get the screen that I want up, let's see. I don't know what I've got on here. Incriminating evidence. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so that's that. I'm like, what am I sharing? Better check before I share.
Gotta close all the inappropriate tabs.
Yeah, that's everything.
This is something I had discussed in the Discord earlier. It's like I haven't actually watched all of Farscape because when it was on TV, it was really hard to watch because it went from being on at 7:30 or 9 p.m. to being on at 12 to 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oof.
Ooh, man,
yeah.
Look, I can share this. Can you see that?
There you go.
Yep.
Yes.
Wait a minute. So this is where we are right now. And these are, can you see this? This is, there's that, website. Oh, wait, let's see if I can go back here. You guys, can you see this now? Okay, I can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Scroll down.
So these are the conventions. So we're doing this again next week too, the same time, right, guys?
Oh, really?
Yes, I
Next
believe
week.
so. On Saturday?
On the same day?
Yes. Is that right? Is that right?
Really?
Is that
Next
right? Collaboration Comic Con?
Yeah.
Cool. So next, and I guess you will release a new Zoom meeting thing, or do you go on the same?
We'll release a new meeting and a new link for everybody to get to. They'll get it via their email so they can all join in. Or if you have friends, that would like to join, then just tell them to email collaborationcomicconvention@gmail.com and we'll send them the link too.
So we've
Okay,
got
there it is.
Can you see it there?
I pulled it up on my own
I
computer screen.
put my big pull it up on your. I put the big Zoom link here. I'm like, I don't know what to copy and paste. I'm just going to do it all. And people are like, whoa.
Better safe than sorry.
So that was for today, and then we're doing it again next weekend as well. So yeah, chime in and share the word. And then, babe, did you tell them about the Patreon page and everything as well for the? Have I got Hope or Honor here?
This is Hope, actually.
Hi,
so.
Hope, because I don't know if I've met you properly.
Hi, Hope.
Hi.
Everyone give Hope a big round of applause because Hope and Honor put it all together. Very clever.
We're just so glad you guys came. It's just great to have everybody here. So, yeah, we've
Thank you
updated
for
our
having
website.
us.
We've updated our website, so now when you get there, you can either purchase tickets to support Gigi and the other speakers here, or you can go to our Patreon and donate any amount you like, and it goes to the speakers and also to support a COVID fund to help other people as they go through this.
So
cool. And then Hope, where are we staying in this meeting for the next one, or is that a new link?
It will have to be a new one because
actually,
after the time has expired, the link will no longer work.
Yeah, so we're gonna put out a new link, and that should be out within like 5 minutes, and then we can send that out for everybody. So
all right, cool. Well, I'll just quickly do the rundown of fun stuff that I've got if people can't stick around for the next one. But coming up is also, these are the conventions that are happening as well. There's two on the weekend of May the 2nd. They're both online things as well. There's Fanism or something I'm going to update my site later on, but there's also Virtual Fan Expo, which is going to be some fun. And then these are the ones that are still have fingers crossed happening. We'll see when the world opens up again. So this is all on my front page of my website. So check that out. And then obviously we're not together to get merchandise and all that fun stuff. So I just wanted to show you. I put a shop on my site. And the site's gigiedgley.com, so you can get autographed and personalized photos there if you're keen. I got Farscape stuff, Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge. I've got my music here, which is a CD. And I've also got a cool little USB. Yay!
The music is great. I've got the USB music, people. Get it.
Thank you, Sean. And on the USB, you get a music video, handwritten lyrics, original music, and a cover that I have yet to actually publicly release. So it's kind of cool because it's like behind the scenes stuff, but it's a cover of Love is a Stranger because I'm a big Eurythmics fan. And then there's my Australian shows for the Aussies out there, Rescue and Tricky, and Star Trek Continues. And then my brother and I did a tour together, so we've got lots of fun Wonderland stuff there. Now, how do I get back to you dudes? Oh, there, stop share. Oh, I'm getting all savvy. Oh, I'm back.
Well done.
Yay, we return to the mothership. So Jesse's like, yes. So, or is that Elsa? I don't know. That's
Elsa.
Good job, Elsa. She's like, welcome back, lady. So I've showed you that. This is another cool little treat that I made. We've got made especially. We've only made 20 of them, and I've been distributing them through my Twitch channel. And they're as lifelike as you'll get them. You can actually pin them onto your top, and you can speak to all the Moya crew in your mind. You'll be like, what, Crichton? Oh my God. That'd be cool. And these I've been selling for 80, and we've only made 20 of them, and 5 have already gone. So that's a cool little comm badge, which is a replica of what we had on Moya. And then another fun little thing is I'm going to learn how to play this on my Twitch channel.
So
see
hard.
what you'll see in the reflection, which is the Farscape video game.
You're kidding me. They made a video.
This is going to be so good.
It's so old school.
Where John gets his pulse pistol Winona.
Oh,
Huh?
gracious.
I read the Wikipedia page on the game. It's where John gets this pulse pistol he calls Winona.
Yes. So good old Winona. And we've also got hopefully some pistols being made at the moment as well, pretend ones.
I'd love a pulse pistol.
All right. So keep an eye out for
Oh,
that. I've got my
yes.
eBay shop. Everything's online now. So I'm like, hey, look, some steak knives.
Ginsu knives.
Pistols. But yeah, so this is so if just to give you a heads up, if you're not sticking around for the next little chit chat, tonight at 5 o'clock, we're all going to watch Nerve together. And Nerve is going to be on my Twitch channel. But I don't know how you share a link, Hope. Can we show them a link, or is it just best to go to Twitch and look up? It's Gigi Edgley TV on Twitch if you haven't seen it before.
There is a chat.
Once we post the video, we can put the links underneath so people can go to your shop and your YouTube.
Thank you.
And, yeah.
Thank you. So that's all the fun stuff, the fun little bits and pieces. But before we exit out of this one and go into the next one and go into the next Moya cavern, does anyone have any questions? Okay, bye. Just kidding.
This was like something I had asked to a bunch of like the voice actors that I ran into. Was like, what's your favorite out of context line from a character you played?
Oh, I love when you say out of context, though, what does that mean? Like just any line?
Yeah, basically any line, just without like setting up a scenario.
Okay, okay, have you ever been stung by a Watruka plant? They too present an intriguing exterior.
I like it.
You want me to tell you where it's from?
Yes.
So it's when I'm pretty sure that's the word for word line, but it's only been 20 years. But it's when Crichton's looking
21.
Shut up, Cam.
Unhelpful.
Oh, I just gotta get my walker out here. It's when Crichton's looking through the prison cell to the quarters, the chambers at Chiana, and she's all like, she's all mysterious, and I believe it's Salas comes up behind Crichton and goes, have you ever been stung by a Watruka plant? They too present an intriguing exterior. But they're deadly. And I just thought that was cool because it's totally Chiana. They're very intriguing and whimsical and magical, and they draw you in, and then it's like, see you later.
I have one question, Gigi, if you don't mind.
Yes, Scorpius's friend.
Can
I ask you how you do that?
Zoom has a feature. It's a green sheet behind me, and Zoom lets you put any background you want. Yeah, I know, right?
I made a couple for myself.
Yeah.
So I made that.
I forgot what I was going to ask.
And that.
Cool.
No, I was going to ask. I follow Anthony on Instagram, and he's always posting pictures of guitars. And I was wondering if he plays. He never mentions it. He never posts video of him playing. But I didn't know, since you and Jake get together, I didn't know if Anthony ever joined you for a jam session or.
He's never joined us, and he should have joined us at DragonCon, because last year and the year before, Jake and I had the Wonderland finale there. And the Wonderland tour was a complete fan run tour, and we did it for the last couple of years. Hopefully, again, with all fingers crossed, we'll be doing it next year. We're going to come to the UK, and we're going to do, I don't know whether it will be the beginning, middle, or end, but it looks like we're doing, the Sci-Fi Ball in February, and they want us to host their whole cabaret show over there. But anyway, so the Wonderland tour was a complete experiment, and I put online, because I miss playing. I've got 7 brothers and sisters, but Jake is Jake plays the guitar, and we do lots of music together.
You can say he's your favorite.
I was like,
I won't judge.
I love them all equally.
Have you and Jake
But,
always
but
played?
Jake I can use a lot more. Three of the kids are like babies, so they're still not too sure. Well, one looks like he's probably going to be a gymnast because he's an amazing. He's like in year 4, maybe even younger, and he's like amazing at gymnastics. And my other little sister, she's an amazing dancer. And then I also have the youngest. I think my youngest brother is like 4 years old, and my oldest brother is 50 something. So it's from 3 different mamas.
Wow, Jezza.
Yeah, Daddy's been busy.
Wow.
So, but Jake, so I missed him, and I put on over the interwebs, do you want to see Jake and I play in your hometown, at a Comic-Con, at a restaurant, at a nightclub, at a music venue? If you do, let me know over social media, and we will do our best to come to your town. And we literally organized. It wasn't a big company doing anything. It was my brother and I, booking Airbnbs, staying. Hosts had, a spare, not a spare room. We didn't go there yet, but they had a spare place that we could stay or whatever else. And Mum's like, don't you get your little brother killed. I was like, I'll try not to. So, and we traveled like almost a different. Here, I'll just quickly, I know we've got to wrap it up real quick, but I'll just quickly share. I'll go back over here and go to here. And on the website here is the link to our music. Where is it? Home. It's on the front page. Am I there? Oh no, I haven't gone over yet. Did that work?
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, cool. On here is a link to Jake and my stuff, and you can check out all our tunes and music and where we traveled, and it was super cool. But if we jump into the next meeting, I'll talk more about that stuff, but you can see music clips. This is the tour dates of where we went last year and where we went in 2018, and then we intend to do another one in 2021 as well, but I can talk more of that on the next little meeting.
Well, thank you everybody for coming, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. And thank you so much, Gigi, for coming here. And again, everybody, if you want to support Gigi and the other speakers and the COVID, you can go to our page, you can purchase a ticket, or you can make a donation to our Patreon for any amount that you like. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. And also tonight at 5 p.m. for whoever's still awake or awake the next day, 5 p.m. LA time, we're showing Nerve, episode 19. Actually, I'm just commentating, but so you've got to watch it on Amazon Prime or on your DVDs.
DVD.
Exactly, and then I talk through it and stuff. But we're trying. If you do have it on Prime, that's really good because we're trying to give Prime as much of a boost as possible because they're talking about shooting another series of Farscape with original cast members. So the more action we can give Prime, the better. So share it, and love it, and do whatever you want with it.
It's lots of fun too. Yeah.
Sounds good.
See you later, everybody.
Farscape. Love you guys. See you in the next one. See you in a minute.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.